Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please binding mask. What just happened? Can I watch the video while I'm doing it here? What was this? Hold on. You go slow-mo. Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please binding mask. Unrecognized gamepad. Please set up a key config for the connected controller. That's because I have my Logitech G29 wheel hooked up. We're not going to play an Isaac run with the wheel. Look, when I was younger, I had less self-respect. I would debase myself by doing a HOTUS run. T7EF, DYRZ. Stats are bad, but Pyro is very, very good. Alright, maybe, but not right away, okay? We're on a single-digit streak. You gotta let the man rebuild his confidence, then lose it completely first. Today's a Wednesday. It's the first Wednesday in July. I gotta tell you, man. I think July... Love the crawl spaces. I think July is like one of my favorite months of the year. Let me hit you with a few things, okay? First off, I live in a location where it doesn't get insanely hot in the summer. It gets hot, and, you know, sometimes like half of the province is like on fire, for sure. But, you know, now that I put it that way, it makes it sound hey, I'm not rooting for the fire. I'm just saying, okay, let me get back to the positives. What else do I like about July? July 1st, sure, is Canada Day. Doesn't really matter to me that much, to be honest. Like, despite being, you of course, proudly Canadian, you know, country's not perfect, it's got problems, but beyond that, it fell on a Monday this year, so I worked. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, if you celebrated it. Secondarily, July 1st is a very significant day. You know, informally, I don't know if it's exactly halfway through the calendar, but it's the first day of the 7th month. You know what that means? It's halfway through the year. You know, a good time to take stock and reflect. If you wanted to do a half year's resolution, that would be the day to do it. Moreover, it means you still got a chance to finish the year off in a positive fashion. You still got to, if you're done December 30th, you still got a chance to finish the year off in a positive fashion. But I mean, like, goals that might take a little bit of extra time to accomplish, you could still get a head start on them if you started, well, 2 days ago. If you started yesterday, you're screwed. I'm sorry to tell you. Not to mention, again, the weather's nice. It sounds, you know, like a pretty minor thing, but big movies. Big movies, dude. Saw Spider-Man last night. You know, I liked it a lot. What do you expect? I almost, at this point, like, if anybody from the Marvel Cinematic Universe production team is watching this, can you make a bad one so that I could call it bad, and then I would get some of my credibility back? Because you just keep making them pretty good to amazing, and it makes me seem like someone was like, yeah, well, I would trust you on your Spider-Man opinion, but you've liked, like, the last 15 Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Yeah, you know who else has liked the last 15 Marvel Cinematic Universe films? Literally, like, 80 to 99% of the movie-going public. It's not an unusual opinion. Anyway, where does Spider-Man Far From Home... Well, let's run some comparisons real quick. I think it might be a little bit worse than Homecoming, the first Spider-Man movie, but not to the degree that you're like, this is like a terrible sequel. You know, if Homecoming was like 8.5, 9 on the Marvel scale, this would be like half a point lower than that, or maybe equivalent, you know? I haven't fully decided yet. How does it fit in to the rankings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general? Brother, I got no idea. Because the thing is, they keep making them good. I know I said it twice now, but it's really hard to be... You know, eventually you have to stop saying, well, it's obviously better than Thor and Thor 2. It's obviously better than Age of Ultron. And then apart from that, I don't know where you put it, you know? It's in there somewhere. It's in the mix. Not at the top, not at the bottom, but somewhere in the mix of movies that are just, like, pretty great. for the most part. I think it's, of the ones this year, Endgame's #1 with a bullet. A loaded gun complex. Cock it and pull it. #2, I would say is Far From Home. I actually like Captain Marvel quite a lot, but I think Captain Marvel would be third best. I think that, dude, we just got Money Equals Power. I totally forgot it even existed on this run. I like Captain Marvel a decent amount, a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest. And I would still say Far From Home is demonstrably, I preferred it. Let's not say demonstrably better, because, like, I don't know, how am I going to demonstrate it? It's one of those words, if you're not thinking straight, you know, if you're not being careful, you could use it like a literally. I am literally starving to death right now. You're not, you're just peckish. Let's not get ridiculous, okay? I will say, I mean, let's be honest. It was a Tuesday. I saw the, come on. I saw the Tuesday night 10:20 or 10:35 showing on a non-holiday weekend in Canada. I know it was July 4 in the US. Or as I call it, American Canada Day. That's right. I'm not bitter about the whole Canadian Thanksgiving sort of thing. It's cool, you know. Your holiday can be called Thanksgiving, and then ours can be the one that has to put a modifier in front of it to say that it's Canadian Thanksgiving. Because obviously American Thanksgiving is implicit and is by default. But if our, okay, I'm not gonna, we don't have to go any further. Regardless, though. Where was I going with this? Theater was not that busy. It was, I mean, it was a big theater. There were probably, you know, a couple hundred people there, but it was definitely, I thought, I was eager to see, because this is kind of like the first post-Endgame Marvel movie. I was like, obviously, you can't get more full than Endgame got. It's the second highest grossing movie of all time. The movie that grossed more than it was in theaters for like 75 years. That's Avatar. I know it wasn't in theaters, I'm just, okay. I'm sure it'll pick up, just because, I mean, it's Spider-Man. Who doesn't like Spider-Man? And by the way, can I talk about how, I know you, here's the thing, dude. Let me cleanse your palate, lest you think I'm not a snob. Hey, don't forget who, merely a week ago, saw Olivia Wilde's directorial debut, Booksmart. One of the most critically acclaimed movies of the year in theaters. That's right, I shelled out my hard-earned money. I don't want to say I'm a saint or anything like that, but it wasn't just me and my wife either. We got 4 tickets. I took my parents to see it. That's right, I'm supporting independent filmmaking. I'm not even sore about the fact that it was made by Entertainment One, the company that, hit, you know, using machine learning, hit me with a fraudulent copyright strike merely 2 weeks ago. Yo, we need these item rooms. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the other thing I was going to say is, let's not forget, Midsommar just came out and is getting glowing reviews. Regardless, though, how lucky, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, do you feel right now? When I was 13, it was like June 2nd, 2002. Hold on, let me check that. Spider-Man 1 opening day. May 3rd, 2002. It's so stupid. You freaking idiot. You're off by a month. Anyway, that movie, it came out. And Spider-Man 1 is fine. I love Sam Raimi. Evil Dead, specifically Evil Dead 2, but then Evil Dead 1 and to a lesser extent, Army of Darkness, Don't Shoot the Messenger. Drag Me to Hell, great stuff, dude. But, that movie's okay. At the time, I loved it. I thought you couldn't get more. How could you make something more dripping with emotion than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1? I didn't know it was possible. Plus, it had Macho Man Randy Savage in it. Anyway, then Spider-Man 2 is extremely good. You know? Especially for the time when not every superhero movie was like a guaranteed 85% or higher on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a big thing, you know? But I never would have expected, especially like a few years ago when we had the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans. They're like, I didn't even really like know existed at the time, and I was like, oh, did that come out? Oh, they're on they've just done the second one. Okay, you know, who would have thought that, like, you know, less than 5 or 6 years after that, within like a couple of, well, within 4 years, you would have Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, and now Far From Home. It's like, and Spider-Verse. I forgot about Spider-Verse. It's like, look, I don't have a favorite Avenger because I'm not 9 years old, even though I do go see all the movies, and a lot of the people in the audience are admittedly under the age of 10. I guess I can't really take the high ground. But I'm gonna say, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, dude, I hope you realize you're in like a blessed golden age. It's like, oh, another year, another 4 great Spider-Man properties. Oh, hey, critically acclaimed PlayStation 4 game, the best superhero game ever made. You know, it's just like it never ends, dude. It's a great time if you're a super big fan of the character or the tone of the Spider-Man franchise. It does right by you. Plus, dude, Jake Gyllenhaal, what a creep. I mean, like this, when I was watching, I did this bit earlier, but like now that I've seen the movie, I can do it again, legally speaking. I was like watching Far From Home, getting creeped out by this disingenuous Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm not spoiling anything. He's a creepazoid in that movie. And I've seen Nightcrawler. You know, I was like, man, they picked this is the best actor that's ever been in a Marvel franchise at all. He's absolutely creeping the crap out of me right now. Anyway. And I don't mean he's creepy like, I'm gonna eat your brain with a nice Chianti. I mean he's creepy in the sense that like when the man is talking, you're like, you're a snake, dude. You're a freaking snake. Is he a snake? I don't know, man. Have to go see it at the multiplex yourself to find out. That's July... It's literally yesterday, July 2nd, 2019. Get your freaking ticket. Hey! Dude, Jake Gyllenhaal, is he... I don't want to say he's the best living actor, because I think that's a little far. But he's got to be up there on the list of... I know, okay, sure, you got your Anthony Hopkinses and your Max von Sydows and your et ceteras and your et ceteras. But for like a man in the... you know, 20 to 40 range, you know, getting those meaty leading man parts, as Tobias Funke would say, he's got to be up there. I mean, Nightcrawler is an incredible movie. Prisoners is an incredible movie. Oh, dude, just guppy me, man. I'm ready. Okay, what's happening? Don't kill me. This is not worth it in even the slightest, but that's okay. Let's go try to buy a spirit heart and not walk on any spikes. You know what? This is... And I know Jack Nicholson's still alive. Greatest working actor. Let's see what people think. Okay, you know what? This is on IMDb, and it's just a random person's list. 50 best actors working today. Business Insider. How could I be wrong? Okay, Al Pacino. Sure, Glenn Close. Judi Dench. Robert De Niro. Okay, this is BS, alright? I'm not... Here's the thing. There's no disrespect intended to Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Glenn Close is an exception because she was nominated for an Oscar like this year. But... they're making garbage now. Except Al Pacino is in the new Quentin Tarantino film. But, which I hear is fantastic, but I've not seen, obviously. It's not a Marvel movie. But Robert De Niro, he does... Oh, that was so close. He doesn't get to be listed in greatest working actors. He's obviously one of the greatest living actors. But his recent work has excluded him from consideration for this list. In terms of resume, legacy, it's not even close. He might be number one, perhaps even easily. Same with Al Pacino. I mean, you know, I want to tell you, preaching to the choir here, you know what one of my favorite movies of all time is? Definitely top 5. Heat, Michael Mann's 1995 heist action drama. Beautiful, steeped in a color-saturated Los Angeles that no longer exists, if it ever did, outside of the cinematographer's wet dreams, is a work of testosterone-fueled paranoid art. It's fantastic. But Robert De Niro, For the last, like, 5 years, he's just playing movies where he's an old dude who's aroused. And he was in the Silver Linings Playbook, but, you know, I don't think he counts. Could he outact me? Yes! Easily. I've only acted in one film, and it's only like the 9th best short film according to IMDb's user rating, so... You know, the world is not giving me the same opportunities, I would say, at this point. But, I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal's got to be up there. I hate to say, because I've realized that, like, and I've come to terms with it. On the internet, if you can keep your mouth shut and only say positive things, oh, your life will be a lot easier a lot of the time. Because when you say positive things, people go, yeah, he's complimenting something, but, you know, it's no harm, no foul. But if you ever criticize something, even if it sucks, someone's going to be like, won't you think of the feelings of the thing that sucks? I wish I had the self-control to bite my tongue for situations like this, because I'm about to insult a Canadian national treasure. People, in my opinion, always conflate Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. Okay? I have no problem with Ryan Reynolds, sort of. I mean, I think both Deadpools are fun, sincerely. I've seen Van Wilder, yes. I've seen Waiting, yes. We might as well try it. I've seen Life, which also has Jake Gyllenhaal in it. I've seen Detective Pikachu. I've seen all the critically acclaimed Ryan Reynolds films. It's just, and I know they have some kind of cool bromance thing going on, which I support in a huge way. But they're not on this, maybe they're the same caliber of actor, but they have not had the same caliber of roles, okay? Ryan Reynolds has played Ryan Reynolds in just about every movie that's ever existed. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's a chameleon. Angst-ridden teenager. Possessed by spirits in Donnie Darko. He's been in other movies. You just gotta give me a second. That room was a little tough. Paranoid cop in Prisoner. Total greaseball in Nightcrawler. Man allergic to everything. Bubble Boy, 2001. That's right. That was Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm just saying, Jake Gyllenhaal is, he's maybe one of the few actors working right now. And he's been in some garbage, I'll admit. But he's one of the few actors working right now where, like, if he's in a movie, I'm like, I can't tell if the movie's gonna be good, but the movie will be elevated by his presence. I don't know if it, I did hear that, what was it, Velvet Buzzsaw? I heard that that was not very good. But was it not very good because it wasn't very good, or was it not very good because Jake Gyllenhaal didn't bring the heat? Because I'm pretty, my assumption is that Jakey G brings the heat. Nobody talks about this movie anymore because we're past the J.J. Abrams Renaissance period where everybody loves him. But he is also extremely good in this movie called Source Code that came out in like 2010. It's a slightly forgotten science fiction film that kind of admittedly falls apart under intense scrutiny, but simultaneously is a fun ride to begin with. I'm just saying, dude. I like Jake Gyllenhaal, okay? What a huge damage upgrade. I'm just saying, like, maybe if he could come to Vancouver, we could hang out and we could be like best friends or whatever. Like, we don't have to be, but we could like try. I could introduce him to The Binding of Isaac, and maybe I could teach him to play the game. Maybe he'd be really good at it, like he's good at everything else in his life. You know, is that so wrong? Yes? Okay, moving on then. We got so much time and so many bombs that I am looking for a teleport card. I would like to teleport, please. There's stuff worth you know what? You're not gonna give me a chance to teleport. It is what it is. I'll see you later. See you never. So that was pretty much like my experience yesterday. I streamed a long time, and then I went and saw Spider-Man. And, you know, another few bucks in Disney's pocket for sure. Saw a trailer for The Lion King. I gotta tell you, the trailer for The Lion King dampened my enthusiasm a little bit. The first trailer that's just, and, you know, I'm not trying to be insulting. I don't know the words. I just know the melody, you know? That, I'm like, dude, this is the greatest, this is the most emotional movie ever made. Then, in the new trailer that they played in advance of Spider-Man Far From Home, the animals talk a little bit, and I was like, oh, right. It's not that The Lion King is bad. It's not, obviously. But I forgot the fact that this is not exclusively Tim Rice and Elton John's incredible soundtrack. There are also moments made for kids where, like, a warthog eats a juicy grub or something like that. You know what I mean? I was kind of... The trailer reminded me, like, wait a minute. This is kind of a kid's movie. I'm not saying it can't be enjoyed by adults. But they suckered me in with the gravitas. Because there's something I don't know. Like, people have been wondering, NL... I've been talking about this in the NLSS. I cry at movies so often now, or at least tear up. I don't openly weep, but like I get a little emotional, much more than I used to. There was like probably a decade-long period where I never cried at all. And I know that sounds like emotional, like stunted growth or whatever, but I just didn't have anything to cry about. Like, you know, I would see sad things for sure, but I was also like 16 years old, and I was like, whatever, dude, get over it. You know, I was enlightened at that point. But people have been like, does NL need to see a neurologist? Like, is everything okay in his life? Everything's fine in my life, and if anything, it's better than it's ever been. All I can really say is that I think, like, as you get older, things that you kind of glossed over, they might strike you a little bit harder when you're an adult as compared to when you're a teenager. Like, when I saw The Lion King, I saw it in theaters in, like, 1993 or 1994. And, you know, you're just, screw it, let's do it. You watch it through a different lens than you watch it through as, like, I mean, I'm not a parent, but as someone who could have a child and who has 2 cats. It strikes you differently, right? You know, because instead of being a story about, you know, it's a cute little lion who, you know, his dad runs into some trouble, and then, you know, he's got to take the kingdom back. You know, I think it becomes a kind of story you view through the lens as, like, you know, your children taking up your legacy or something like that. You know, like, you see it, like, I'm proud of that cartoon lion. That's what I feel a swell of pride when I think about that cartoon Simba, dude. And it's the same, like, people will ask. I did not tear up once during Spider-Man Far From Home. And I'm not using that as a point of pride. There is sentimentality, but it didn't strike me in the same way. Of course, there was the same kind of, like, he's a hero. Be careful with him. He's a hero. But it's like, I don't know. Different things strike me differently, I guess, as I get older, you know? I think the main reason I would have ever cried when I was, like, 16 years old was out of, like, frustration. That's, like, the most teenage emotion when I think back to my teenage years that could possibly move me is, like, you know, I wanted to go out of the house, but I have to do homework, you know, and then you're like, it's not fair. As an adult, I'm like, you know, movies don't really do that. They play that up for laughs most of the time, which is fair because it's ridiculous. But now, like, Oh, there's just so many triggers, you know? I'm trying to explain, I think I'm doing a really bad job of it. But like when I was a kid, my parents had pets. Animal stuff, though, didn't really make me sad in movies. Of course, stuff like Milo and Otis is like an exception. Yes, I know all about the horrible production of that movie. Please just let me be. I'm not saying two wrongs make a right. I'm aware, okay? But, animal stuff didn't really get me in movies. Now animal stuff gets me in like a huge way. I think it's because I'm the person responsible for my own pets, you know? It triggers a different series of emotions in you that can then be manipulated by Hollywood scriptwriters in order to make you feel sad. Like when I was a kid, I was like, oh, it's a cute dog, and it's sad. Now I'm like, the people that own that dog took on a solemn responsibility to put that dog's interests ahead of their own because the dog doesn't know any better. All that dog knows is you, and you had the audacity to betray it and neglect it or, you know, worse, abuse it. How dare you? You have, as a human being, you have failed. You're nothing. You're dirt. This dog is a beautiful creature. You get the idea, basically. It strikes you different. Let me put it this way. I think the kind of person I wanted to be has changed over time as well with respect to movies. I think that, you know, when I was like 16, the kind of person I wanted to be when I go to the movies is we'll go there, you know, see a great movie. People will be like, what'd you think? I'll be like, it's okay. I was one of those people who thought like the only way to have truly enlightened criticism is to say an equal amount of good things and bad things. On the one hand, it's the best movie I've ever seen. On the other hand, whoa, the costumes, I don't know, are we expected to believe that they had pauldrons that large in, you know, Enlightenment era France? It seems a little ridiculous. Don't hit me. Spirit Heart? No. Oh, okay. It was a little close. We made it. No fear. By the way, definitely, this is a situation you should not have taken Incubus, but it's a lot of fun. A little scary. Very scary. So I, like, super deserve that. I played like a garbage man. For now, thanks for watching. I'll be back with another episode. Hope you enjoy. If you did, click the like button. I'll see a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya. Podcast complete.